Good morning. Good morning. We're going to be talking about fasting and why I've been going 24 hours without eating, and I'm going to start doing this once a week. The three major benefits I've been receiving from this. Additionally, we're going to go over just some sources of information of where we got all this to make sure that we're doing fasting safely. And of course, can you really only drink water, or there's other things that you can enjoy while you're fasting, or is it water only? We're going to answer some of these questions and the benefits above. Make sure to enjoy the show. Cheers.
Financially free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline. I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Terror Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. And shooting straight over to the board this morning, we're going to be talking about fasting. And along with fasting, we're going to be talking about the time frame. So how long do we go? There's intermittent, there's longer periods of fast, and they do different things to the body. So we're going to kind of go over which one I'm focusing on. 24 is usually a little longer. Intermittent is usually that time frame of 13 to 15, I believe. Maybe it's 13 to 17, somewhere around there. But we're going to be talking about me doing 24s because I think that I've been getting the absolute best benefit out of that. So we'll have these three major reasons of why I'm doing it and why it's helping with my productivity. It's helping with my joy. It's helping with just feeling more delight, content, peace more often. And that's what we're really striving for here. So 3 reasons of why. So we're going to have time frames. Additionally, we will have some information sources. We have some sources I'm going to share on my screen when we present our screen here in a moment. Some sources of information that you guys can use to, there's a book that my girlfriend's been reading that's been really good. And additionally, just some other YouTubes and some other personalities of people who've kind of enlightened me on fasting, what I'm trying to do with it, what's the goal, because everyone's different, right? So we got to find what your speed is. So we're going to hopefully getting those extra sources will be helpful. And then additionally, what is the other banner that I had on here? So kind of how we start. So starting, and we want to be able to answer the question when. We want to be able to answer that question when. And then lastly, we have here the water. Water only? Question mark. Okay. We got a lot to talk about this morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. If you're just joining us, we're talking about fasting. We're going to be going over some time frames, major reasons why, some sources, when do we start, and additionally, what can we have while we are fasting? Yeah, without further ado, let's jump in. We're right here. We're on the 3 major reasons for fasting. Good morning. Thanks for tuning into the show this morning. The first major reason that we have on here for fasting and why I highly recommend it is just resetting our guts. It's actually a recent phenomenon for human beings to have a problem with having too much food around. It's actually relatively recent if you look at you kind of do a broader scope on human history. It's very recent that such a large percentage of people have had access to large volumes of food. So we take food in and we get food out. And too often, and this happens, if we're eating 3 times a day and you're not pooping 3 times a day, you're going to have backup. And it's very common for most people to have like 10 to even 20 pounds of crap inside their bodies at any given time. I think Elvis had like 40. Things like prescription drugs, processed foods, all of this stuff is literally holding crap inside of our bodies, which is waste. And we need to get rid of this waste. So the number one reason why I'm doing this fasting thing, doing the 24 hours reset, is to just do that, to reset my gut. I believe that, I'm sure maybe you've heard of this, that the gut is the second brain of the body. I want to more so believe that it's like the first brain of the body. If your stomach hurts, what are you thinking about? If your stomach hurts, what are you working on? Probably not much. So it's this headquarters of all of our systems. So when you have like, when you're trying to either build muscle or you're trying to get healthy or whatever the goal is, it's like our guts is the headquarters, the information center that's like sending everything out, that's making sure it all works. Brain relay system as well. But I just don't want, I feel amazing when my gut is settled. My mind is clear when my gut is settled. And that's why it came in as our number one reason, is we just want to reset. And according to some of our sources that we'll be pulling up here lately, it's about the 24-hour mark of fasting where you're really resetting all the cells, the gut microbiome that's going on in your belly, and really priming yourself to improve your gut health, to have a clear gut, a settled gut, to establish a clear mind. So that gets us into reason number two. So after we've reset our gut from the 24-hour fast, we have the mental clarity aspect of it. So this is the number two reason why I'm doing fasting, why I love fasting. And I do really well with the 24-hour mark. Again, what works for you is going to be different. And I would highly suggest on the time frame side of things is to start small, see how long you can go, and then kind of keep expanding it out. But we'll get more into that here later in the show. But reason number two for fasting would be mental clarity, being able to be very sharp. So I've been reading a lot more lately. I've been writing more lately. I've been trying to just create ideas and focus really hard on my work. And fasting helps with that tremendously. So if we just skip dinner on Tuesday night, then we go ahead and we go through Wednesday and we don't eat anything. And we'll talk about stuff that you can like drink and consume as you're doing the fasting here shortly. But when I do this, I feel like I can really focus. And meditation, of course, Tanner's talking about meditation, but man, when I'm doing my fasting and I am meditating, it is almost like a spiritual experience. And I've never been a type of dude who would be into this, who would think he'd get a lot of benefits from it. But I really have. When it comes to just stress and anxiety, it has dropped for me dramatically since I've been doing some fasting, doing longer meditations. And it just seems like all of the bad stuff just melts away. And you're thinking probably, oh, that's a bunch of bull crap. That doesn't work, this and that. I'm okay. Just try it. And if you need help and support with going maybe guided through some meditations, maybe just talking about what your fasting schedule would be like. For the fasting stuff, definitely try to do research on your own body and your own health and talk to a medical professional. I know fasting differs very dramatically different for men and for women. And so we'll go over some resources for women here at the end of the show. So stick around with us. But additionally, for most males, in my experience, it's been relatively pretty easy and I haven't had any issues with it. But the main second benefit would be that mental clarity, just being able to focus, laser focus on my work for longer periods of time and also enjoy it more while I'm doing it. There's this brain fog that's so common, and it's really just the fog is come and gone as I started to do these fasting things more often, as I started to meditate more often. So mental clarity has been a huge benefit for me when it comes to fasting. Good morning. Good morning. The third major benefit that I've truly realized from fasting is improved sleep. So last night I didn't eat dinner and then I went to bed. I read it. I read a while, so I didn't eat dinner. I read a while, and then I went to bed. And I woke up feeling really, really good. I feel really well rested. And whenever I fasted on this 24-hour cycle in the past, I've always slept really good the night of. I'm sure it's when you think of you have so much blood in your body and when you eat food, it takes a lot of blood to digest the food, break down the nutrients, and move it around. And so when that blood's in there, it can't be in other places, healing, say, tendons, ligaments throughout our arms, helping our brain reset and recharge properly. So I think a big part of it is just like better blood flow, just not having to work overtime my gut. So I'm getting improved sleep from it. And that's my third major benefit is just feel well rested, feel really good, improve sleep. And if you know anyone who's struggling with sleep, maybe they could try this to see if fasting would be helpful for them. So it wouldn't be a Talk to Tara morning show if we didn't have a bonus on here. I always get greedy, got to put another one out there. But so if you want your food, so think of the best meal that you've eaten. I want you to think the most delicious food that you get to eat. For me, this would be like steak, ice cream, or whatever. Now imagine the joy that you get from this food. You get it from like a carrot or an almond or some basic super healthy food. It is nuts, dude. So you eat this and the amount of dopamine that floods into your body after you've taken a break from food, if we do anything too often, it loses its value. It loses its joy. It loses so much of its meaning. So just taking a break from food and then coming back to it has spiritually just dopamine wise in my brain, it's brought so much joy to me that it's an integral part of the process now. And that's why I wanted to put the bonus on here for dopamine reset. When I take a break from the food, when I do the fasting, and then I come back to it, and then I enjoy something, it is 10 out of 10. I can't even explain it, how delicious the food really is and how grateful I am. Just agency and gratitude, these things that they talk at the highest pillars of therapy from Dr. Paul Conti, is like being able to be there, to enjoy it fully. And a dopamine reset, I think, makes that a lot easier. So that's one of my favorite things about fasting is just I take a break from it. And then when I do really get to enjoy it, I realize how important and valuable good, nutritious food is, how many people it takes to make this work, from the manufacturers to the farmers to the supermarkets and the grocery stores. I think gratitude starts to really flood in for me, and I get a lot of joy and dopamine in my brain when I'm actually just tasting the food in general. So that's our bonus here for today, is why fasting is good for you, or the major benefits I have gotten. Again, this is not a replacement for talking to a medical doctor. If you have health concerns, make sure to talk to a physician and see how they can help you. But these were the benefits I've been getting from fasting: digestive health, gut reset, mental clarity, improved sleep, and dopamine reset. So let's go over a few sources of information. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. These are some sources that were impactful for the episode today. So Sadhguru, I believe I pronounced that right. He's total badass. He's got a ton of content online, and he talks about how humans are like, everything is cyclical. If you look at the time, everything's based off of a cycle. How do we know what time it is? Well, the sun, the moon, so the moon goes around, it's been a month. If the sun's going around, it's been a year. So a lot of our time is our perception of time is based off of cycles. And I don't believe that humans are any different. Additionally, in this video is really cool. It's just talking about how 60% of your energy, so this is yogi philosophy, that 60% of your energy comes from water, sunlight, and air. Water, sunlight, and air takes up 60% of our energy. That's what gives us 60% of our energy. So food is only 40%. So we can start to see if we're eating food all the time and we're not getting out and we're not out getting sunlight, we're not out increasing the air that we're taking in. Exercise really helps with oxygen absorption, heart rate efficiency, all that good stuff. And just drinking quality water. If we're not doing those things, no wonder why everyone's so tired and cranky and feels like crap, because more than half of your energy based is not getting taken advantage of. So that's one of the big takeaways I got from this video that I really liked. And he just talked about resetting the body, being disciplined with the mind, mental clarity, and a lot of the other benefits that we were able to talk to. Next up, we have Dr. Peter Attia. He's one of my favorites. He's just a physician, and he has lots of, so whether Andrew Huberman, he's got a really nice episode with him. And also Andrew Huberman's got some nice episodes on fasting in general. But Peter Attia has been a big impactful person with me. He used to do these super crazy long fasts, and he talks about the pros and the cons of that. And so if you want to learn more about him, he's pretty good. And then lastly, there's this book that my girlfriend's been reading and talking to me a lot about lately. She's been really into fasting. So fasting for women is a lot different than it is for men. A lot of this is based off of hormones, menstrual cycles, and just men and women are not the same. So you want to make sure that if you're a man or if you're a woman, you're doing your extensive research on what the benefits are for you. To my understanding, doing it for dudes is a lot easier and pretty straightforward. And then doing it for women, you probably want to be a little more careful and look into the details more. I can't speak for women, so go ahead and do some more research. But this has been a really good book for us and our learning. So shout out to my girlfriend and shout out to Dr. Mindy Pels. So those were some sources of information. We come back to our recommendation before we head out of here today is starting small. So I want to do what I really want out of fasting is I want to get these stem cells. People pay millions of dollars for these stem cells, and I think they're the future. I mean, it's just regeneration to the max, whether it's your joints, your muscles, your testosterone, just everything good. Stem cells seem to procreate and create a lot of good stuff going on. I want more of them. I want stem cells in my body. And we actually create stem cells when we do longer periods of fast. Granted, you have to do longer periods of fast, like 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. You have to do 1 to 3 day fast to get the real benefits and pull out the stem cells, according to a lot of the research I've been reading. So I'm starting small. I'm not doing 3 day fasts right off the bat. I'm doing 24-hour fasts. And then I'll do like 3 of these. So another couple of weeks. And then I'll try and do a longer one. And after I do 2 days, then I'll do them a couple more times. And then I'll do a 3 day and kind of go on. I'm not in a rush I'm still young. I'm not even 30 yet. So I'm not in a huge rush to get all these stem cells. And plus, I don't want to hurt myself. And I believe it's just like working out. We shouldn't just go full bore. If you haven't lifted weights in forever, don't just get under the bench press and just start ripping the most weight you think you could possibly do. That's how people get injured. And I don't want to be injured. So this is my approach to it. I'm starting small. So if you're thinking about doing this, maybe you want to just start with intermittent fasting. This is that 13 to 17 hour window. Or maybe you just want to decrease the window of your eating in general. So you want to do window eating. So you only eat foods from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you have a 8-hour window where you're allowed to eat. And then you have a 16-hour fast on the other side of it, just to digest and get a lot of these other benefits, just doing that gut reset, getting everything flowed through you because if we keep piling food on top of it, it's never really going to get out. Last thing I have on here is can I really only have water? So they talk about water only fasts, and that's the type of fasting that I'm doing is, you drink some water and then you fast. But additionally, you can have lemon water, you can have potassium, magnesium, like think electrolytes. You can drink these electrolyte drinks. You can go ahead and you can make sure whether you're ordering something. We have this one drink, it's keto friendly, so you kind of want to make sure. Main thing is we're just trying not to have any calories because calories break fast. So if we can have if we can avoid the calories. So what is another drink that you could have? So aside from like lemon water and some type of electrolyte drink that's 0 calories would be black coffee. So I think today I might have a cup of black coffee, drink this electrolyte drink, and then I'll just go strong off of that until I get to the evening, and then I'll break my fast with, the first thing that you eat after you break your fast is really important and crucial. So it's like, what do you really want to get back out of it? My number one reason for doing the fast is the digestive health. And like my girlfriend was talking about out of this book, I want to focus on like probiotics, prebiotics. Gosh, I can't think of the other term, but we want to set up good microbiome, good gut bacteria in the beginning. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to eat some yogurt. I'm going to eat I'm going to eat some overnight oats with some fruits, with some good stuff in it, with some chia seeds and yogurt. And then additionally, I'm going to drink a kombucha. One of those, it's like 9 billion microorganisms in those things, and they just really good for gut health. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to take that once I hit my 24-hour part. And then after that, I'm going to take a little break, and then I'll go ahead and I'll eat dinner with my girlfriend, whatever we decide to eat. So that was 3 major reasons why I fast for 24 hours. I believe doing this, figuring out the start time. So we talked about the start time is, I believe doing it in the middle of the week makes a lot of sense. I've done fasts on the weekends more. I don't know why I didn't always do it on the weekends, but I'd always do it on like a Saturday or a Sunday, or for some reason. I think doing it during the week is so much easier because one, I have my work, like I'm just working a lot. So it's just really easy. Takes my mind off of whether I'm hungry or feeling this or feeling that. I can just dive into my work. It's very distracting in a good way. Or it's just, there's not a lot going on. On the weekends, there's always something going on. Like say we go to the farmer's market, or say we go to this new coffee shop, or say if I just meet up with friends or family or whoever on the weekend, say I'm watching sports or something like that, to just relax and have a good weekend. I don't like to have to restrict and not take in anything but black coffee and lemon water. So I think doing it during the middle of the week is very beneficial. And that's where I'm going to continue to do it, is I'm going to like not eat on Wednesdays, hump day. I got to get a lot of stuff done for work anyway. And that's what works best for me. But again, we're talking about, we want to start small. We want to make sure we have the right sources of information, talking to a physician if necessary. And additionally, like just kind of looking at your options of what you consume during it to make it more enjoyable. That's all I had for today, folks. I wanted to come on here and I wanted to share my fasting regimen, what benefits I'm getting out of it. Maybe you want to try it and see if it's beneficial for you. But I've had a lot of success with it. I'm feeling really sharp, feeling ready to go, feeling very zen. Very peaceful, very delighted, and very content. These are the highest emotions and feelings I believe a human can really possess and attain. So we're trying to feel those as often as possible, and I think fasting can really help us do just that. Cheers, friends. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have an incredible, incredible Wednesday. And in case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. We don't need to eat a bunch of crap and junk food today. We can just chill, relax, breathe, do the good work, and focus on what we need to focus on. Cheers, friends. And I will see you all bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, Thursday, October 5th, with episode 372 of the Talk Terror Morning Show. if you got value out of the show, please make sure to share it. You can go to YouTube, you can share it on there. You can take the YouTube link, share it to your profile. You can share it off of your favorite social media platform, whatever you want to do. We just want to share this and get this information out to people so we can help them on their mission as well. Thanks, friends. Peace out.